So a couple days ago, I made this post on social media, and it was just a list of baits that I really don't catch a lot of fish on. I made this post a couple weeks ago, and people started coming for me because I listed the baits that I don't catch fish on. If you read that number one right there, jigs. I don't really catch fish on jigs, and that apparently just pissed off a lot of people. So keep in mind, that list of baits that I made is just baits that I don't catch fish on. I'm not saying that those baits are bad baits. I'm not bashing any of those manufacturers. I'm not saying that you won't catch a fish on them. I'm just saying my lived experience with those baits is that they're like my least productive lures. I just don't catch a lot of fish on them. That's literally all that was. It was nothing really to get anybody upset or to say, well, no, that's wrong. It's not wrong or right. It's just, I'm telling you that I don't catch fish on them. So I got put in an interesting predicament. Fast forward like 2 weeks later at the Mississippi River. This is a tournament, championship tournament, $100,000 on the line. I kind of really thought I had something good going. I went to, you know, the Mississippi River has different pools. I went to pool 9 to go catch smallmouth. I go down there, I could not catch a smallmouth. I weighed in 3 fish for like 0 pounds. The second day of the tournament, I'm at the gas station. I'm gonna go ahead and say his name because a lot of times when we have something bad to say about somebody, we say their name. Then we have something good to say, we're like, well, I'm not gonna say their name. I'm gonna say the name, Jacob Walker. Jacob Walker, he's like, how'd you do yesterday? I was like, dude, I caught 3 fish. It's a championship tournament, so it's like if it's winner or nothing. 4th place pays the same as 30th in the championship tournament. So like, yeah, dude, I had 3 pounds. I mean, whatever. But at the same time, even though you're not in it, you want to catch fish because in a tournament like that, you drove 16 hours. I put all this time in. I just at least want to catch fish. So he's like, yeah, dude, I caught like a dozen keepers on a jig. I'm like, oh, bro, don't tell me that, not a jig. I don't ever catch them on a jig. Don't tell me a jig, Jake. Tell me a chatterbait. Tell me you call them on a Carolina. Anything but a jig. Don't tell me that. So I bit the bullet. I tied on this jig, actually. It was. I'm gonna show you the footage from the tournament, but I tied on this jig right here. And no, I'll let you tell me what you think, okay? It was a good day. First bite this morning. Trying something completely different from what I've been doing. I was floating so fast, I didn't even know if that was a bite or not. All right, that's easy. I just feel better about it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel better about it. It ain't gonna do nothing, but I completely feel better about it. bass. Good grief. Oh, God, he barely fit in the net. Oh, God dang. Look at that thing. God dang. Look at that. It's a big old son of a gun. Hey, are you fishing tournaments yet? You should be. Did you know I host a free tournament every month? No entry fee at all. Give over $1,500 in gear away at every single tournament. Listen, I know all of the people that fish these tournaments, and I'm 1000% certain that you catch bigger fish than anybody in the tournament. So if you registered, I'm pretty sure you would win. All the information you need to know how to register, how to participate in this tournament is in the link in the description box and the comment section of this video. Go check it out. Go get that money. You know you need some new fishing gear. You're 100% certain you are better than the rest of these guys. This might be good. Okay, so I did end up catching all of my fish that second day of the tournament on a jig. And don't worry, I'm not about to act like I'm a pro jig fisherman and this is the jig you need to use in these colors and that much orange on them. I'm not about to do that. I'll tell you what I was fishing with. It was actually this jig right here. I'll tell you what I was fishing with. But more importantly, I learned something about the pros and cons of jigs that day. I usually use a Texas rig a lot, and just spending that much time with it just one day, because I just don't use this a lot. I'll swim a jig quite often, but you'll never see me flipping a jig in laydowns or like, I just don't do that. But I learned some pros and cons of fishing jigs that maybe this will help you, maybe it'll be valuable to you, maybe it'll help you if maybe you're in the same boat and you're like, dude, I don't catch fish on jigs either. Here's what I learned, okay? Number one, I'll do the pros of the jig first. The pros of the jig, this is the one, the Z-Man, Z-Man cross-size jig, 1/2 ounce, okay? The jig is real compact, so I can be really accurate with it. Like you could be extremely, you could place it really well. I think because it's just small, it's one piece is compact. So I could put it in places really, really easily. Another pro for fishing a jig is the hookup ratio is really good with a jig. So, you know, with the hookup ratio, the hook is always exposed. So I don't think I lost any fish when I was fishing my jig at all. This one is probably my favorite thing about the jig is I think it's way better in current. So I was fishing the Mississippi River, has a lot of current in it. And anytime that I'm in a situation where I need to flip in current, I'll probably always fish a jig. I just like how lifelike it was and how it just, I don't know, like how the water, we call it washing. Like you could wash the jig in the current really well. I don't think there'll ever be a situation where I'm fishing current where I won't use a jig just because it looks really lifelike, just flowing in the current. I don't know how to explain. I just like that a lot. There are some downsides that I found out. I don't know if you say downsides. There's some things that I didn't like. That sunbuck snag up a lot, son. Hey, she was hung up. I broke off quite a bit. So this is the jig. I said this was the jig. It was this jig, but I had like a straight up brown one. Broke all of them off. By the end of the day, I was using this like green and blue. I think it's something Moskin crawl or something like that. So it's real snaggy. A Texas rig will go through anything, logs, grass. That's why we flip or punch with a Texas. Texas rig just doesn't hang up nearly as bad. Another con of the jig. What was another con of the jig? I feel like I just couldn't feel what it was doing as good. Does that make sense? Like with a Texas rig, I feel like I have better contact feel. I know when it's on the bottom. I know when it's, I just feel like I can feel the bait better with a Texas rig. With a jig, I kind of don't ever really know if it's on the bottom or where it's at in the water column. That was kind of like one of the cons. Maybe I'm sure somebody said, well, that's something you just get used to, Brian. You just got to be a pro jig fisherman like me. Okay, I don't know. Just maybe because a lot of times we use tungsten sinkers with our Texas rigs. I just feel like I had a better feel of the bait with a Texas rig over the jig. Probably one of the, another con of a jig over a Texas rig. I feel like a Texas rig, you have more variety and you have more variety in your shape with a Texas rig. Like the jig, you're kind of stuck to this profile. Of course, you can change trailers. You know, you can use a different style trailer or something like that and get a different action, a different profile, a different look. I feel like with a Texas rig, I can easily go from just like a stick worm to a creature bait or to like a U-tail worm. Like I can change the profiles and the chain, like what it is, much easier. Where with a jig, it's kind of just a jig. But it is cool fishing the jig. Like sometimes I would swim it around that eelgrass and then drop it on the edge and you would get a bite. That was kind of cool. So I guess that is a pro of the jig. Like maybe it is locked into the profile and the look of it, but at the same time, the jig was like you could work it, you could swim it and then drop it on the edge. So those are my pros and cons of the jig. I'll probably be mixing it into my arsenal a little bit more. I had a lot of fun doing that. If there's ever a place, I would suggest that you go try a jig somewhere you know you're gonna get a lot of bites. Most of the time, the reason I don't like a jig is because it's not a bait that you get a whole lot of bites on. So I like getting bites, so I don't fish it. I get more bites on the Texas rig. So if you want to learn how to fish one, maybe you're like me, you're like, man, I don't catch many on it either. Go to a place where you know you're gonna get a lot of bites. That could be a pond. I was at the Mississippi River. Mississippi River is loaded with bass. So I knew I was gonna get a lot of bites. So it helped me with my confidence. I'm gonna be throwing it more. Built my confidence in it a lot. I can tell you that.